Alright, boot up already. There we go, awesome. I'll bring the chat back up. How's everybody doing? Been a few days since I got to stream this. Going through the campaign as usual. Did I start recording? I did, good. Okay. And we're about to start Act 3. So this is going to be interesting. I don't know if this is where the changes will really start to show up. One thing I do find interesting is the fact that we now have... Hey, Leviathan Games. How's it going? But yeah, we now have confirmation. It's taking a second to load. They fixed the microtransactions. I do not have my microtransactions yet. Thought they would have fixed that. But, Act 3. One thing I find interesting is that they have, the community has discovered that Righteous Fire and the new Mind Over Matter work together. Which adds some interesting possibilities for mana-based Righteous Fire. Not, you know, a huge amount, but it does add some considerations to what you may or may not run. You found the game through me. Nice. I'm glad I could bring you into it. How are you enjoying it so far? How far have you gotten? Alright, so no updates to the Undying models here. But yeah, I'll explain the stuff I talk about as we go along. What I was talking about just a minute ago, there's a skill in this game called Righteous Fire. Also, let me know if my fan is too loud. It's like 90 degrees out here. You're near the end of Act 3, you have a level 37-ish witch. Nice. But yeah, Righteous Fire burns you, like, you take fire damage for a large percentage of your health and energy shield every second, and enemies around you take a smaller percentage. The reason it's useful is because you stack whatever HP or energy shield high enough, and the fire damage does get reduced by your fire resist and other defensive possibilities. So you stack enough life regen to make it sustainable, or energy shield regen. I don't know what the Righteous Fire meta is going to look like after 3.0 hits. I'm going to focus on summoners for now. To see, and I'm going to be doing a playthrough of the content and the story. So I'll be listening to all the characters.
I don't mean to sound ungrateful, but we've no time for talk. Tolman was out here with me, and now Piety has him. They're headed for the crematorium. I've no chance against Piety and your blackguards, but you're another matter entirely.
She did just see me slaughter an entire guard company.
You found it in your heart to rescue me. Tolman is just as worthy of your generosity.
Right. And I'm also getting to enjoy the story again for the first time in a while, because I've played this game for so many years that I started skipping the audio bits. So it'll be cool to actually get to enjoy that. You just killed Piety in your game. You playing in Legacy League? Oh, also, are you on the community Discord? 'Cause if so, well, I'll just wait for you to answer. Alright, so I've got 3 of them, 3 to go in this area. Ascendancy stuff.
Our paths meet.
I've already listened to you. Hargan.
Whoever you are, I have to thank you for returning Clarissa to us. Problem is, one died lover ain't much good to anyone. Like gloves, they tend to be more useful than pairs. The missing glove in this case is a young fella named Tolman. We'd be ever so grateful if you could find him for us.
The slums are east of here. Used to house the unwashed of the Empire a couple centuries back.
Now it's home to the walking ulcers and sores of this poor city.
Oh, wow. Yeah, Legacy League, and I know I'm not on the Discord. I followed your SU live blogs for a while, but this is the first time I'm really getting involved with anything else. Well, welcome to the streams. I'm glad you've been enjoying the live blog. If you want, there's a Discord command that links to the Discord channel, but...
As you can well appreciate, we exiles make our homes wherever Ray class allows us to. Although we all here harbor different beliefs, see with different eyes, we are united in our thanks for returning Clarissa to us. She is the gentle heart of this place, a spirit still capable of love in this wasteland of hatred. Yet, that gentle heart remains in jeopardy. Piety and her blackguard still have Tolman, and although he isn't deserving of Clarissa, she'll not smile until he's by her side.
I forgot how much Marimoa talked. Especially considering the Marauders' criticism of how much Oriathans like to hear their own voice.
Ebony Legion arrived from Oriath a couple of full moons ago. Now the Blackguards scour San like hungry maggots on the carcass. What are they looking for? Only that which is best left unfound. Be well.
But yeah, I'm glad that I've been able to get people into this game. Hey, Moko.
Need some help. You're alone. So Tolman's... You didn't go to the crematorium? No, of course you didn't. This isn't your fight. I'm sorry. It was wrong of me to put that on you. To ask you to risk your life for someone you don't even know. Don't worry. I'll work something out. I always do.
Oh, you've been live blogging Ruby. Nice.
Be careful.
Yeah, hope your setting up is going well, Moko. I'll wait on Gregor till I finish this thought. I'm glad that I was able to inspire you to do that. It's something I love doing and something I'm starting to get more revved up to do recently. The only reason I haven't live blogged in the last couple days is because I've been visiting my friend Sean. And I'm doing a stream today because I've been itching to do the Path Beta, but I committed to doing the story on stream. I'm actually planning on doing Ruby at some point myself. I've only seen the first season and 3/4, I think. Rest in peace, Monty.
Come no closer, witch. The name's Grigor, and, as you can see, I've had my fill of your kind. So once you're finished admiring your sisterhood's handiwork, turn those icy orbs of yours eastward. Yes, you've brought Clarissa home to us. Once again, she pesters me with pity. There's only so much broth, so many bouquets that a man can take. For a criminal, Clarissa has a strangely soft center. Still, I'd rather not see that heart of hers hardened. Use those dubious talents of yours for something worthwhile. Find her boymate, Tolman. Prove me wrong about your kind.
Yeah, Grigor here
Tread carefully, Exile.
had a bad goddamn time. He's been experimented on by Piety, who we're going to spend this whole act learning about.
Hello. Death came to town. The roaring Ezomites wore red. The red of blood. The red of the fray. Death came to town. The crying Ezomites wore black. Black of disease. Black of dismay. Death came to town. The silent Ezomites wore grey. The grey of twilight. The grey of decay. Only the Isles of Scoth were spared. Once a backwater of my proud civilization, now all that remains of the Ezomites.
Bad shit has been happening on Ray Class for thousands of years.
Hello.
Alright, anyone got anything else to say before I head on? I don't think so.
Talamoana, Exile.
There you going.
Nope. Okay, moving on. H. H's prophecies. Dur. Travel to the stone circle in the western forest and destroy the echo of Doedri Darktongue, who resides there. I should probably do that, but I'll do that after the rest of this stuff. You know, now that they're putting out Acts 5 through 10, I wonder if they'll have time to fix Leo, the PvP master, so you can actually gain favor without pulling your goddamn teeth out. Like, that system is currently a really bad mess. And not... PvP, and the way they set it up, was unpopular, but the problem is that they didn't leave us with any really good ways of gaining favor, and the player engagement with it goes way down. Here's the thing, though. The Sarn Arena, the random PvP battle arena where everybody can take their characters and just have a free-for-all. One sec. Everybody can play their characters and have a free-for-all. I go in there during a league, and even in Standard, and oh shit, you're watching me on stream, Tom? Awesome. But, yeah, I see people in there all the time just hanging out. And not just for the Leo missions. There's a couple Leo missions that say, go in the Sarn Arena, do a couple, get a couple kills within X amount of seconds, or without dying, or stay in there for 3 minutes without dying. And those are mostly impossible for casual PvPers to do. There's no way for us to manage them unless we sit in a corner crying and begging for people not to come accost us. Some people will do that for fun. Like if they see us trying to stay out of the way, they will deliberately come and start killing us to reset our timers. Here's the thing about the Sarn Arena. You always see people in there, and it's not fair to them to send people in to cry about getting killed. The best solution, I think, would be to make Sarn Arena kills grant a little bit of Leo reputation. So not only are you going there for the Leo mission, you can go in there for small amounts of Leo rep, and you can go in there and, like, a small enough amount that cheesing it out isn't worthwhile, but a large enough amount that you can get a small amount of progress with every kill. And that would make people engage with the Sarn Arena, and it would make people able to level Leo at a rate that wouldn't really be all that much faster, but it would feel like you were doing something. That's just my solution to the Leo thing, because he has crafting options for PvE players that go in several builds, but they're gated behind PvP, which is awful. Leviathan says, I haven't even tried PvP in this game. I'm always too afraid to try PvP in a lot of games. It's not really worthwhile unless you want to go all in on it. And some people will take their builds in at level 90 to 100 and have fun with that. But
Exile.
hey, Tora. Okay, so I guess they're off that away. Yeah, that's how I'd fix the PvP system in this game. It's likely not going to be even a tertiary concern because so few people care, and the backlash against the PvP scene back when they did a PvP season was, why are you spending resources on this when you could be improving the game? I think once they put out Fall of Oriath officially, they spent some time, you know, getting the bugs that people run into, I think they'll be able to focus a little bit on that, or at least I hope they will. Because it does affect everyone in little ways. And it's a whole part of the game that's just getting neglected. Okay, don't squish the Loreweaver, please. So, don't spoil many of the surprises, Tom, but how are you, like, actually, let's see how far you in. You are in, oh, you're, like, level 70. How are you liking Acts 5 through 7? That's all right, Moko. It's good to have you around anyway. Okay, now I've got 6 points of life regen, but I've got some extra mana regen, which will be helpful later. Thanks for letting me know.
When you build something like this, you make persecution a way of life.
Tora again. Leviathan Games is now following. Thank you for the follow, Leviathan.
Over here, Exile.
I could use some more life in my
I have another
Zambos.
corrupt.
I've got Tora missions running in 2 places. Alright. And that's a dead end. Okay. Yeah, it won't just be Path that I'm... We're right here. Alright. Let's get our murder on, shall we? I like this music, but... I don't know. There's something about it that seems off from the rest of the game a little bit. I don't know. Not that big a deal. Oh, hey, Tom. If you found a Bones of Uller, I'd like to buy it from you. I don't know if you've run into that. Yeah, run into one of those yet, but I haven't. Sounds too meta when everything else is mostly orchestrated. Yeah, I guess a little bit. Some of the music in this game has bits of that in it, but I don't know.
You've a real knack for slaughter.
Alright, let's find the Trial of Ascendancy. And then fail to save Tolman. I got hate beat? Yeah, I do. I really need to get the hatred aura. Thanks, man. But yeah, for what builds do you like to play, Leviathan? Once I hear that, I'll explain what I'm doing. Tormented Spirit. What you got for me, asshole? Don't possess any of the blackguards. I'll never get your loot. Get back here. Come on. No, no, no. God damn it. Alright, whatever.
There she is, my work in progress. Let's see if Rayclast has been good to you, witch.
It's always bothered me a little that she starts fighting before she stops talking.
Enough of this.
But yeah, my classic build, if you haven't really looked into a build, probably a bad idea, but I kind of just wanted to go into the game blind before trying to set other things up. Anything you recommend? Oh, Tom, you got some for me. Awesome. I'm gonna head to your hideout and pay you for them. Give me a sec. Oh, they've got parts 1, parts 2, and parts 3 now. That's then instead of the normal cruel and merciless emblems. That's awesome. Oh. Well, thank you. And That's +1 zombies. You haven't really done a build. It depends on what you want to do. Do you like hitting things? Do you like casting spells? Do you like playing at range? Do you like commanding an army? There's all sorts of things you can do in this game with dozens of different permutations, not just the meta versions of the build. All sorts of cool things. Personally, the builds I like to run are this Zoo Summoner, which is built around getting very large numbers of minions out. I like Righteous Fire characters once I get the loot to set them up. Like, I usually start a league with the Zoo Summoner build because it is entirely independent of gear. You can play it without even a Bones of Valor, but you shouldn't.
On the night of 1,000 ribbons, our finest city burned. It burned with fires lit by cruelty and neglect. It burned with shame for giving the title of emperor to a man who did not deserve it.
So I'll really need to know what you like before I can tell you what you should look into. The third build is actually a fairly hard to put together one with expensive gear. An Endurance Charge Sunderknot with Varusha's Battering Rams and other Endurance Charge benefits using the Sunder skill. Lots of fun. I enjoy it anyway. The really expensive parts of the build are an Aziri's Disfavor and something with +1 Endurance Charge on the belt that's actually worthwhile. Most have been using lightning spells in your Witch. Anything that increases lightning damage, shock chance duration, that's a good start. Focus down on one area of play. Especially for a first self-made build. You want to focus, if you're going to play with lightning skills, you want to focus on amping up one that a lot of people will advise you to have a single target skill for like bosses and stuff, and a group skill for large masses of enemies. Wow. That was a heck of an explosion.
Allow your wisdom to be tempered by the flames of the past.
Okay, now back to town. Set some stuff up. That there for the moment. Put that there for the moment. Awesome. Awesome. Alright. Nothing useful there. Better energy shield. A little bit of lightning res, but... Garb, 52. Oh, wow, that's just a drop in everything. And... nothing. Alright, let's get rid of this stuff.
I'll miss a boy. He was always up for a laugh, whether it was at his expense or not. But I wouldn't miss that Clarissa more. Argan's the name, by the way, and it's my honor to welcome you to Dirty Old Sun, the metropolis of opportunity. The opportunity to make something of yourself, or the opportunity to have a very messy death.
He's not wrong.
I was Clarissa's guardian angel back in Oriath. Put food on the table in return for a bit of light work. I try to keep her out of trouble as best I can here, but Sun's full of secrets, and Clarissa's full of curiosity. She's just so ample, is our Marimor. In my mind, you'll find no saucier specimen of womanhood. It's her tattoos and that fancy talk she does. Intoxicating. She's a cool one, though.
Yeah, I don't think she's interested, buddy.
Now, I'm no history scholar, but I know that Emperor Chittus was overthrown by Vol of Thibris roughly 2.5 centuries ago in a so-called Purity Rebellion. Vol was the shortest reign of any Eternal Emperor, about 5 years. The twists all of that.
Alright, let's unload this garbage on him. You have Herald of Thunder active and Tempest Shield. You use Arc and Spark as your main attacks. It's not a bad start. Like I said, focus down on one area of stuff. Figure out... Oh, it's actually a minion thing. Cool. figure out what you want to focus on and go for it. Weapon and steal other jewelry minutes have movement speed. You know, I think I'll go. Nah, I'll leave that there and trade it up later.
Poor Tolman. I made this bracelet for him, and he first arrived here. Idiot said he'd never take it off. I called him a liar. He didn't, though. Not once.
Yeah, sorry for leaving his corpse strapped to a table and just bringing this
I
back.
need to give you something. I asked a lot of you out there in the slums. More than I should have. You tried. And that's all we exiles can ever hope to do.
Oh, wow. I am like a head shorter than her. Look at that.
Those keys unlock the gates to the sewers. Tolman found them. Figured that in the worst of times, people will hide their wealth in the worst of places. We were never game to test his theory. Not with the Undying down there. But you're strong. Stronger than any of us here. I don't think you need to fear the dark.
For everything good about her, the performance of the lady in the Act 2 Crossroad Ruins, that was a perfect performance. This one's a little overacted. Generally, you should figure out what part of the game you want to play with, like block builds or summons, and focus in on that. Do things that complement that. Defensive stats that help it, side skills that help it, links that help it. You want to have, especially as a beginner, you want to try to only go for a couple, like a link per piece of gear. Well, let's see if she has hatred. She does. Oh yes. I do not have any more green. Whatever. She does not have specters for a while, though. Oh well.
Be careful.
Listen carefully, witch. Thanks to your sister, art, piety, I no longer dream when I sleep. I only have nightmares. The same nightmare over and over. No, it's never my reflection came back. The first time that mirror appeared to me, it was cold, I saw. The rapist from Oriath, I had the displeasure of sharing a pen with in Corvisius' stockade. Piety took him for her experiments. That night, I saw her handiwork while I slept. This time, it was told. Flesh dried to leather, organs shrunk to husks, blood trickling through his skeleton like red dust in an hourglass. It's Piety's gift to me, that mirror. At least I won't be seeing Clarissa the next time I look into it. For that alone, I hope it's not you I see either. I walked halfway across this forsaken continent because of an ode. Of jewels and eternity, it's called. For twinkled promises of jewels and eternity, the Gemling Queen gave her heart and body to the King of Shades for one more day in the sun, the last day in the sun. That's but a portion
That's
of the
better.
full
Now you can see me.
The Gemling Queen lived, and she's the enigma behind the fall of the Ezomites and the Eternals both. Look to the Solaris Temple to the northeast. Find the Gemling Queen's remains before Piety does, and destroy them. I wouldn't rely on Hagen in a fight, and I wouldn't put too much faith in what he says. But he has one highly useful asset. His obsession with self-preservation. If Hagen deems you of use in keeping his fat self alive, he'll do almost anything for you.
Yeah, he's not stupid.
Goodbye, Exile.
Keep the fighters supplied, and you live to see another day.
Sorry, I need some more time to think. We'll talk soon, I promise.
Well, thanks for coming by, Leviathan. It was
Watch
good to
yourself.
have you. Okay. Let's... Green? No green. Shit. Clarissa, you got some
Yes?
chromes for me. Chromes. Shoot.
See you.
Looks like I'm dropping Arctic armor for the moment. Well, he's leaving, but I'm still going to explain what it is that I'm doing once I finish the dialogue in this area. Because we'll be gone for a while.
Dead, then. Another victim of Piety's cruelty. Perhaps he escaped lightly. Look upon Grigor to see what life entails under Piety's influence. I give you this, in recognition of all that you have done for us. We shall mourn Tormund's death as we shall treasure Gravis's life.
Hidden Purity of Elements, Discipline, Frostbite, yeah, I'm going with Purity of Elements.
General Gravisius demands absolute obedience from his Blackguards, meaning he's surrounded himself with cowards and lackwoods unable to lift a finger without orders. If you are able, traverse the river and murder Gravisius in his own barracks. You'll be ripping the very mind from the skulls of our enemies.
Never a good plan when you have an army.
Clarissa will weep for Tormund. She must. The cloud is darkest before the rain. Hagen is a man of many claims, and those claims seldom dance harmoniously together. A lie is a death sentence in Ngamakanui, so I was raised a daughter of truth. Hagen is a son of self-interest. He's no warrior, no spirit singer. He's a Korangi. I don't know the right word in Ariathan, but in Karui it means he who wins wars with false promises.
Still a useful person to have around.
Grigor straddles two worlds, one foot planted on this soil, one in the dirt of spirit and shadow. When you speak with him, be sure to know from which world his words arise. It's an often told story among the Karui, how Vol of Thebris bent his knee to my ancestor King Kaum and promised freedom in return for war. While Vol raised his Purity Rebellion in heart of the Empire, Kaum took Lord Lioneye's head and the southern coast all the way to the Siren's Cove. It was the greatest conquest the Karui had ever seen. If I knew how to cross the river safely, I'd be wearing Gravisius's head on my belt. Talakura, go with...
I believe you. The poet, Victorio, let himself a piece of the Purity Rebellion right under Emperor Chidis's nose. But here's what really interests me. Victorio was quite the talented larcenist as well. Pulled off the heist of the century in the name of the people, of course. 3 gifts from Chidis. Finely crafted platinum busts, destined for Marseilles Lioneye, Hector Titusius, and Gaius Centauri. Victorio and his cobblers hold up in the sewers beneath the marketplace. Now that you've got Caleris's key, well, who knows what the Purity rebels stashed away for a rainy day. You take first pick. I'll be content with those heroic busts. Part of my Return to Oriath fund, you see.
I can't imagine what that poor bastard's been through. It's a miracle Grigor hasn't completely lost his mind. Granted, he's lost 1 or 2 pieces along the way, but there's still plenty that's worth listening to. Gravisius is the mailed and bloodied right hand of Dominus, and I thought the Templar were meant to be spiritual men of deepest humanity. You notice the sarcasm in my tone, right? Had to smuggle a fellow out of Theopolis once. Got a bit too friendly with Gravisius's wife, he did. Every blackguard was out on the streets looking for him, so I had to think lateral like. We took to the drains and didn't bow our heads above the pavement until we sniffed the sea. A grubby bloody job it was, but worth it for the coin he paid. You want a piece of Gravisius? Sometimes the only way up is down. Stay out of the shadows.
Alright, anything else to here in town?
Yes?
No.
What are you looking at? Maramoa's sure of herself. And that kind of surety gets you killed in Sarn. You and all those around you. Hagen's got the right idea. Don't believe in anything that you can't trade or eat.
Well, that's not much of a life.
Victario, a fellow warrior of words. He wrote many entreaties to the Ezomites, begging our assistance in helping High Templar Vol depose Emperor Chittus. That was centuries ago. Victario's words held much power then. I imagine they still do.
You know, considering all the other long-dead lore characters that we run into in this game, I wonder if we'll encounter the ghost of Victario or something in the new acts.
I tried to penetrate the Solaris Temple in the northeast. Almost got myself killed by the bloody ribbons that guard the place. Bizarre, floating tapestries they are. Creatures of cloth and thaumaturgy. Fortunately, a few legionnaires got in the way. While the ribbons eviscerated them, I ran straight into Perillisius. He dragged me over the bridge to the Lunaris Temple in the west and put me in Piety's tender care. Didn't say a single word to me the whole time. There was nothing to spoil war to him.
Yeah, we're basically up against fantasy Nazis, complete with fantasy Rommel, fantasy Mengele, and you know, I'm not actually sure what Dominus is in that comparison, but onward we go. So the build I usually start my leagues with is what I call the Zoo Summoner. It's what pretty much everyone calls the Zoo Summoner, but I digress. I stack as many minion skills together as I can. How many? There are only 10 to go. We might as well track them down. I stack as many minion skills together as I can, having as large an army as I can get. I get a couple Clay Shapers at level 41 to give me +1 Golem each. I get a Bones of Valor. It gives me an extra Zombie and I believe Inspector. Been a long time since I've actually read it. Yeah, Zombie Inspector. Ideally, I would get a Cloak of Tom or Isley, so my minions blinded stuff, and my animate weapons would have access to better better weapons, because all magic items drop identified. I would... I aim for an Alpha's Howl to up the strength of my auras, and I go for a Commandment of the Grave enchantment on my gloves. Oh wow, it was right here? Yeah, it was right here. Whatever. The Commandment of the Grave is actually really interesting. Whenever one of your minions kills an enemy, you spawn 3 Frost Skulls, which run around and act just like summon raging spirits. And I'm going to be here for a minute. They run around acting just like summon raging spirits. They explode once they reach the end of their time limit for a lot of damage. And when that happens, they also leave behind the cloud of caustic gas that your other summons leave behind.
You're creature by creature.
And I've got a hideout. Which means that they will quite often kill things by dying, which spawns more of them if the cooldown's gone all the way through. It's actually quite interesting. What am I going for next? I'll go for extra Zambos. Okay, can't cross that barrier. Whatever. go the long way around. So if you've got if you're fighting something that like one-shots you, but it keeps summoning additional monsters, like say the Phoenix or the Minotaur, you can run in, kamikaze him with your face, and as your minions die, they'll do damage to him. And whenever they kill one of his summoned additional things, which keeps summoning as long as you have things out on the field, you'll get more Commandment of the Grave Skulls. It's not particularly a meta build, but it's fun. I like being the commander of an army of summoned monsters and skeletons. I can do everything up through tier 15 maps. I have a hard time with tier 16 maps. I have a hard time with the Veiled Temple. I'm not good at... Oh, that's not in the middle of... it's not in the middle of a big empty room anymore. Alright. I have a hard time with tier 16 maps. I have a hard time with... I've never fought the Shaper on my own. And I have a hard time with Uber Ziri. Wait, are they all here? What? Wait a minute. Oh, they've cut down the sewers trek. Okay. Before 3.0, for the new people watching, you went from the slums down into the sewers, down into the slum sewers. You went from there... I don't know why it didn't register as soon as I saw the Undying Blockage. That's in the warehouse sewers. You went from here to the warehouse sewers, then up into the warehouse district. From the warehouse district to the marketplace. There was a market sewers underneath where you found the third platinum bust. It's weird. They've rearranged the map and gotten rid of a couple areas, it looks like. Looks like this is the one sewer. I can't say they're wrong to do so. It was a long, tedious trek, though not as tedious as some of the stuff in Act 2. But it's good to know that they're focused on speeding up the game a little bit. Acts 2 and 3 have a lot of empty space that kind of feels just like filling time. Both of them have gotten cut down quite a bit since 1.0. There actually used to be a fourth sewer area between the warehouse sewers and the Ebony Barracks. And Marketplace. Oh wow, it skips the warehouse district too? Interesting. Huh. Well, cool. They cut out they cut out 3 whole areas just from that. I'd be here another 15 minutes getting through that, especially since the warehouse district is just unpleasant. It was a nightmare labyrinth of areas where you had to follow corpses to find the way forward. And it was simple enough to look for the corpses, but it was very circuitous and roundabout. And I don't know, I never really enjoyed it. They'll have to move a lot of the divination cards away from there, though. Maybe they've... I still don't know how they're going to handle divination cards, since I haven't seen a single one since I started the beta. So, answer me this, Tom. Have you run into divination cards, or have you been wondering where they've gone as well? They might just be still revamping the whole system and where they drop. It's going to be interesting to see. It's It's going to be interesting for me to see how they handle... Okay. Herald of Thunder, I'll take it. It's going to be interesting for me to see how they handle moving the divination cards around, especially since they can't have the same area at 3 different difficulties anymore. Alright, we're going to take a detour in the catacombs and get the Trial of Ascendancy over here. Wherever it may be. Alright, take down the Death Bishop first, please. I guess you can freeze things to death. That does the same thing. Alright, let's just blow on through here. Still haven't run into any new enemies here in Act 3. I still have never... I keep meaning to try a build with Fire Nova Mind, and I've still never bothered. I really should at some point. Ah, here we go. Mental Trinity. Achievement I haven't gotten in a while.
There is nothing eternal in this empire of ours, but the names of our day that shall be revered or reviled in the centuries to come.
Well, it's not the Aspirant's Trial. Where the hell is it? There we go. Awesome. And more damage, please.
Life is short, deal.
Now, I wonder how fast I can blow through Act 4.
An emperor cannot allow himself to become buried in the shadowed vaults of self-doubt. Cannot allow thoughts of imagined disaster to spin about inside his mind like so many stripe-splintered wheels. An emperor navigates his way through the terrors of perplexity with his eyes set firmly on the rising sun.
And
An
bam.
emperor must bear 2 blades, hope in the left hand, surety in the right.
I only found 2 of the busts. God damn it. Da-da-da-da. Gloves. Nope. Da-da. Oh, extra energy shield, extra int. I need the mana. I'm gonna leave that be. Finally make a jewels tab. Jewels. For crafting later. I doubt I'm really going to get to do much of that before the wipe. I think that's happening next week. I'm not sure. Alright, Hargan.
2 out of 3 busts. Well, it's just not 3, is it? 3's a tidy number. Victario's third and final refuge awaits you, my bold business partner.
Bam, 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 bam. Alright, back to the sewers real quick. Man, that's such a good change. Alright, let's see if we can find it over here. strongbox. 4 additional items. Yeah, I'll go for that. We're in a dead end anyway. I guess I'll take the Herald of Ice. Might do something with that another time. God, it's so goddamn hot here. And Moko, I know I'm living in the Great Frozen North, and I'm sure you get 90-degree weather in like February, but oh my god. Ugh. Yeah, I'll go this way. I am a cold weather creature. You get 80s to 90s all year round. It was really surreal. Today was relatively cool, and it was 32 Celsius, 90 Fahrenheit. Here's how unnerving it was. I went to Arizona and was having 80-degree weather in January, and okay, there we go. And that felt like the dead of summer. It was also a dry heat, so it wasn't as humid as it gets up here, so that was nice. But oh my god.
The Beatles poet could hide the spoils from Chitters, but not from us, eh? I knew you was the exile for the job. I'm sure you've been more than compensated already for Victario stockpiles, but here's a little extra. Care of something I found under a dead man's bed. Why? Just because I like you.
Yeah, the humidity is hellish. Give me that. Passive point. Boop. Anything else to say while I'm here?
Exile. Traversing the sewers under the river. I should have thought of that myself.
You could have if you talked to
The
Hargan.
more of a picture you paint of that undying concoction in the sewers, the less I want to see it.
It is a heinous,
If you
undulating
manage to destroy
asshole.
it, expect a storm of undeath to descend upon you. The dark is their home, and there'd be nowhere more homely to the undying than a pitch-swayed drain under a river.
Oh, you missed me asking a question about how they handled divination cards, if you knew. But
Talakuda.
that's about it.
How you doing?
You also missed me exulting
Stay
about
out of
how
the
much they
shadows.
shortened the sewer trek. Don't
What
worry,
was
Moko.
that?
I would have you, if you visited, you'd come in the summer. Don't worry.
Maramoa, I've heard that the Karui have this philosophy, Makanui, the way of the warrior. I don't think you could get any more Makanui than her. She took it upon herself to look after me, before Tolman arrived. Saved my skin more than once. I'm fine with that. Beats being on her bad side.
I can't imagine people stay on her bad side for very long.
Hagen likes
Or
to think
anyone's
he was
side.
my kind old uncle back in Theopolis. Granted, the work he gave me saved my parents and I from starvation. This was after my father lost the family fortune at the card table, and we had to give up the manor in the country for a flea box in Theopolis. But he's not half as generous as he makes out. When Hagen gives you something, you can be damned sure that he's getting his pound of flesh in return.
Kadira would be proud.
No one should have to go through what Grigor has. I help him as much as he'll let me, but he's a proud one, and so he should be. He's survived what has destroyed too many of us.
Okay, that was a good delivery.
Halfway across the world, and yet the tie between Vanilla and I endures. That was Piety's real name back in Theopolis, before her rise to greatness. Vanilla sold her thaumaturgy in the day, her body at night. Sought after, she was, enough so to become one of my best buyers. But money never meant much to Vanilla. No, she was striving for something better, nobler. He used to tell me that life needn't be this hard. It's time you all realised that. I bet she fed Tolman the same bloody line.
She's a real piece of work.
The blackguards talked about Piety's precious gems being infected with nightmare. Tolman, what did she do to you?
Awful enough things that it's honestly a blessing on him that he's dead.
Vanir was arrested for consorting with the unholy and condemned to the pyre. This was before the banishment. Dominus shared a last supper with her, heard her confession. Most think Vanir earned Dominus's patronage on her back. I don't. Vanir gave Dominus her better life and got a new name in return. You can count on one thing. Piety's grand future won't include the likes of you, me, or Tolman. On the fall of the Empire, the historians are deathly silent. After the Purity Rebellion, the Kingdom of Karl blockaded Oria, preventing any trade or correspondence with the mainland. It said that Karl planned to invade. Only when the cavalry retreated did Orius get any news from Rayclast, but by that time there wasn't really anyone left to tell the tale.
Oh, more.
Titus thought that the gemling was the pinnacle of human progress. These glorious gems have brought us within spitting distance of godhood, he once said. The High Templar at the time, Vol of Febris, thought they were a perversion. He wanted the Empire made pure, cleansed of the stain of thaumaturgy. You look at San and tell me which one you think was right. And while you're out there, look out for monkeys. No, not those bloody monkeys from Frisia. These ones are painted on the walls. I think you'll find them enlightening.
Messages from
Watch
Victorio.
yourself.
300 years later. Okay. Onward, shall we?
Tala.
Anything more from any of
Come
you?
over here.
No. Awesome. Empty inventory. Back to the marketplace. Yeah. Oh, hey, rude. Yeah, Act 3 is really where we start to see what happened to Rayclast, where we start to get the hints of what happened all those centuries ago. And we don't really get to find out... yeah, I'll do it. We don't really get to find out what happens to the Vol there in all that much detail in Act 2, but I'm assuming we'll find out more as the game goes on. I wonder when the Pantheon system starts showing up. By the way, I want to do an audio check. Are you guys able to hear the dialogue over the fan? It's so goddamn hot. It's so hot. Please save me. Move to Canada as far north as I can get, just so the summers aren't goddamn atrocious. Oh, you can hear it just fine. Awesome. Give my minions life regen. I'm actually probably going to move into this room because Sean's leaving it, and it's literally twice the size of my room, for 25 less a month. I'll have to pay a little bit more for internet because I don't have other people picking up the slack, but it'll be a trade up, I think. Alright, onward. Yeah, this place is huge. I love it. And it's got a bed that isn't the size of a desk. It comes with an actual desk, so I'm not desperately looking for space. Like, I love my landlady. Patty is awesome, but this is just too good an opportunity. It also brings me back to my my hometown, the place I grew up. The library I grew up in. My best friend still lives here. We won't have to arrange weird commutes. He can just come visit whenever he wants. It'll be good to be back in Pittsfield. Oh my, 29. I can definitely use Ray Spectre now. Yeah, I'm really happy about it. Let's see if they've added a boss over here. Just need to install the PSU and do some cable management. You think you're good to go? Awesome. They have not added a boss over here. Just regular old Captain Aurelianus. I guess he's always been the boss for over here, but he's always started way over there. So I never really counted him all that much. Yeah, I'll grab the period of fire gem. And the waypoint. It'll be good to have you online a lot again, Moko. Like, we've missed you on the server. And it'll be cool to have you on the Minecraft server if you decide to do that right away. I've been worried about cooling issues, but this thing has, like, they've changed how the docks are set up in the Battlefront. Let's see how the docks themselves have changed in layout, if at all. I think I like the way the docks have been laid out up until now. I kind of hope they don't change anything. You know, if my suspicion is correct and they're doing something with Fairgraves in the new Axe, we'll probably get some new dialogue from it in this. The CPU cooler, the case has 3 built-in fans. The CPU cooler has an additional 2. Graphics card is an additional 2, and the power supply has... The animation for this is broken. I don't know why. It's been that way. And the power supply has an extra fan. Sounds more robust than my computer, but my computer was only like $400, so you have another 2 fans that you ordered in case you would need them. Whoops. I don't know, maybe Act 3 had all the stuff they wanted in it? I'm only halfway through the act, so... I don't know, but... Oh, they did add some busted up boats that I don't remember being there before. Hey Tom, were those boats there before? In the docks? The ones hanging off the edge? I don't remember them. Thought these guys were something new for a minute. Nope. They're just a configuration I haven't seen very often. Oh well. You do not remember. I'll have to compare to the live room later. Oops, not that way. They definitely feel new. If nothing else, the cool new fog effects have drawn attention to them. Some more content revolving around boats. Yeah, I can't wait to get there. So I just had a brain fart, and I completely forgot the name of the RP universe that you're doing art for, Moko. Please help me. I tried to retrieve it, and my mind went, nope, delete. Oh, was just on your DeviantArt looking at stuff a couple days ago. How did I forget this? Sibylheim. Thank you. The totems just disappeared. That didn't look good. Huh, is it just me, or are the magic monsters a darker blue now? It might just be me. Yeah, I saw the, I rather enjoyed the animation that you guys did. Is that how you guys are going to be presenting it going forward? Or are you guys going to be doing, like, webcomic type stuff?
I no longer need fear. Destiny is seeing to that.
Because it was really neat, and I'm looking forward to seeing where the story goes in the future. God, that must have taken months of work to do that. There was a big crew of you, wasn't there? I know you did a lot of the backgrounds. You're going to be sticking with the Flash comic format, but just for plot events. Wow, only 5 of you to do that. That is impressive. Only 4 worked on the comic. You know, I can probably just... Yeah, I can just... That seems like a mistake. I can just teleport over here. Alright, let's find Fairgraves. And the waypoint. The original 5th mod had to bow out because of her baby. Well, congratulations to her. Ooh, they've changed where this is. Alright, grab the waypoint.
Now there's a familiar face. Before you say anything, yes, I did try to kill you. Inexcusable. I allowed pragmatism to overcome honor in a moment of desperation. Please accept my deepest apologies. What do you say? Can the two of us make a fresh start? Marvelous! Now, as you've clearly noticed, the All-Flame has given me another respite from oblivion. Alas, it's a partial success only. I am neither man nor spirit, living nor dead. A state that comes with some rather frustrating restrictions. I know we've only just been reacquainted, but to put no finer point on it, I need your help.
Alright, that should stop there.
Interested, are we? Oh, splendid! In return, I have a gift or two that I may bestow upon you with a click of my translucent fingers. All you
I like this
do
guy's
is
vocal
furnish
performance.
me with a crystal decanter and a juicy piece of fruit. 2 humble items that remain agonizingly out of reach for a man in my peculiar situation. Will you look at that? The decanter spiritus. As exquisite today as when I found it all those years ago. You may fault the man, but you can't fault his craftsmanship.
Oh, thank God the PSU came with more zip ties. Have some trouble with the wires.
I'm sure you've heard of Malachi by now. Ever the heterodox, he sought otherworldly inspiration by imbibing a substance called ghost wine. For the purpose, he created the decanter spiritus. I found it on my last visit here. Liquid placed in this crystal decanter becomes quasi-apparitional in nature. I'm sure you can glean the decanter's usefulness to me. Conventional liquids simply don't hit the spot. I am one sorely parched revenant. I hid the decanter spiritus in the marketplace, so as not to cause temptation for the less morally steadfast in my crew. Look to the carven heraldry there, and find a lion dancing upon the waves.
Beat you to it, man. Sorry.
Emperor Chittus was stabbed in the posterior by his own Lord Mayor on the eve of the Purity Rebellion. Chittus's grieving gemlings buried him in the Imperial Gardens, and a plum tree was planted upon his resting place, so that his mourners might taste of his glory for years to come. I found that tree, and one of my men tasted its fruit. I've never seen so much agony crammed into such a brief moment. This may seem a peculiar request, but please bring me one of Chittus's plums.
And what's the last thing you have to... Oh, 2 of them.
This current form comes with rather frustrating restrictions. It's a small improvement on my last incarnation, but I'm a man who used to poke his sticky beak into the furthest corners of the world. Now I can barely cross the road. It was no mean feat getting here from Siren's Cove, I can tell you. So here's the truth of it. I intend to sup upon mine own death. Oh, fear not. The All-Flame will resurrect me, and with luck, will restore my full freedom. But for that to happen, I must die. And in such a manner as to excite the All-Flame to utmost ferocity. I am convinced that only the fruit of Chittus can provide a demise of sufficient tragedy. Life is full of painful choices, is it not?
I just realized, Fairgraves, how the hell did you get up here? We're right here, in the docks here. There's one dam, one waterfall, and a long-ass river and coastline before you get down here where I found you. How the fuck did you get up here? Yeah, yours seems like a good kitty.
I visited Sarn some 30-odd years ago. Those ghasts, the Undying, you call them, scurried up from the sewers near the river and slaughtered all but a few of my most stalwart lads. Oh, they're a foul parody of humanity, those Undying. Nothing in common with a fine, upstanding revenant like myself.
All right, well, onward then. You've been fighting that guy for 10 minutes and you couldn't kill him? Good job. Seriously, Fairgraves, how the hell did you get up here? I can't... I guess you're a ghost ship and that lends some magic to it, but you could not have sailed up here. Maybe he used his ghost powers to teleport or something? I don't know. That's gonna be bothering me for hours. Unless you sailed all the way around the continent. I don't even know how big the continent is. Oh, and here we are. Oh, they're actually fighting each other. Oh, I've been waiting for them to do that for ages. Maybe they did it if you drag some packs over to each other, but showing off the faction AI is really cool. Ooh, the flame from Tormented Spirits is way brighter now. That's cool.
I'd love to see the insides of this spell. I can't abide housework.
Alright, so they've added squads of blackguards and ribbons fighting each other by the entrance to Solaris. So that's the first, aside from some of the new Hargan dialogue, that's the first addition I've found to this act. The rest have been subtractions. I gotta say though, I'm liking having an actual leveling curve again. I've been playing a lot of Diablo 3, and areas just have no power level identity. Like, they're always the same level as you, so it's more what difficulty you're on than it is the actual area you're in. The only thing that breaks that pattern is greater rifts. Excuse me. But there you just keep pushing higher and higher. And it's all random, so you don't really choose what areas you play around in. Ooh, Veil Side area. Please give me Veil Skeletons. Come on. I would really, really like that. What are my resists right now? Good fire, mediocre cold, and lightning. Well, fair enough. I haven't exactly been going defensive on the tree. Huh, I can't remember seeing any rare statues before. Interesting. Alright, come on, go down. Come on. There you go.
I need more mana.
I am here way, way earlier than I expected to be. Coin! Wow, what was that noise, Lord? Just came out of your mouth all strangled. I assume you're off tying up all your wires? You're not here, you can't answer that. Shadow of Vengeance. Now, they said they haven't implemented all the Veil Side area bosses in the new axe yet. Oh, Veil Burning Arrow? Really? That's... lame! Oh, you're here again. Awesome. A waypoint? What? How did I not notice that going by? Alright, I guess those are just the edges of the area. This away, then. There's the Voltaic Seal and the Infernal Seal. They've moved the... They've added a waypoint here. I wonder if there's still a waypoint in Solaris, too. And I was talking about subtractions earlier. I think the subtractions they've done are incredibly positive. Oh, this is new. They've added these tile sets with the pews. Those weren't here before. So that's cool. Oh, wait, there's a door over here. So how much catch-up do you have on Sibylheim? After a couple weeks of computerlessness, I can't imagine it's a small amount. Yeah, there is a waypoint still in Solaris too. I need the mana reservation reduction. So my mana costs are gonna go up soon. Huh. That's weird. They've got the Lunaris music that... Or maybe I just never noticed that it was Solaris music because I spent so much time in Lunaris. Kicked off a mini event before that we got a lot of involvement for, and you'd set up the raffle ticket tracker before it beforehand. Oh, here's the goddess of purity. Where do you fight her broken remnants when you come back in Act 8? Oh, designing a prompt for your character based on the monster form. Helps that it wasn't your event, so to speak. Yeah, from what I saw in that animatic, it's an interesting universe. I'm looking forward to seeing more of it. So is it a set of good RPers or okay RPers? God, I haven't roleplayed since I was a teenager. I had a lot of fun with it on Sonic forums, and eventually I built a universe to accommodate it, but nothing really ever came of it. And now I'm still really proud of the things I did with that universe. I stripped down the entire multiverse and rebuilt it. Oh, hello, Haku.
Tala Moana, warrior. No spirit.
I started out as a very bad role player. My character was a knockoff of an official character. Eventually I did some interesting things with him though. God, Sonic fan forums are a thing I miss. Back in the early days, in the height of the Sonic community, it was such a good and friendly environment. Started out role-playing on Neopets. No offense, but that does say a lot, like you say. And Zambo. I really want a +2 Zombies Great Wolf. I'll never find one, but I really want one. Anyway, I really do think what killed Hero 10. Yeah, I started role-playing at 14, so don't feel so bad. I think what really killed the online Sonic community, not necessarily killed, it's still there, but what really drove a lot of people away from it was the change in tone when Sonic 06 released. We were so hopeful about that. We were so excited about that, and then it came out, and it was one of the worst games ever made. Like, famously, to the point where it and we are a punchline. And everything started to go downhill. Everything started to peter out.
Another of Kitava's slaves, man.
And by the time 2008 rolled around, I was out of it. Then I found Homestuck in 2011. And that set me on the Tumblr path, and the Tumblr path brought me to live blogging. And now I'm doing preliminary work on a horror game based on a dream I had about a little 9-year-old girl. Alright, Diala, what have you got for me?
You are not a cockroach. Strange.
I'm gonna grab a drink.
Inundated with cockroaches I am.
After this.
Black ones, 4 limbs, nasty, spiky things.
Are you spiky? If so, my ribbons will pluck your spines. Malachi liked spines. Liked my spine. Pretty spine. Bejeweled and bountiful. Enough to make an empire weep. Do you weep, not a cockroach? I do. Tears are infinite. Why, on this very day I found a new reason to cry. What is that you have? Not a cockroach? My ribbons
Yeah,
too.
DeviantArt was something
Those black
else.
ones wanted them, my ribbons. Wanted to wrap the city in black ribbons. Now they are my ribbons forevermore. Forevermore. I hate forever. I could tear happy ever after from Bard's bleeding tongues. You're still here, not a cockroach. Oh, gratitude, yes. I should give you a token. Token? What token? This? Is this to your liking?
They really did do a good job with her insanity.
The cockroaches will come again. They want the twist. That cockroach emperor. The other bugs shout his name. Revisius. Cross the river, squash the emperor cockroach in his nest. The bridge. It is barricaded. That spawns a tricky question. Questions. Questions. I asked too many questions. Chit has told me so. I asked where it all went. Our feculence. He made them show me. Under the river. The sewers from this side to that. Filthy, fetid tunnels like a rower's cloaca. A black place. Crawling with the undying. Once beautiful and arrogant gemlings. Now the foul waste of the Empire. Fitting, isn't it? Apt. 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 I like you, not a cockroach. I like that you listen.
I haven't said a word.
It would annoy me if the Undying murdered you. Thaumatic sulfite. That's what you need. You have some already. You are a resourceful umbug now, aren't you? Give it to me. I was all eyes and ears when Malachi worked. I will make something of your thaumatic sulfite. I will forge an infernal talc that will bring the most furious of light to the undying darkness.
Oh no.
Dash of
Nina,
arcanity,
no.
pinch of insanity, a whisper of profanity, and the infernal talc is now ready.
You really shouldn't do that, Kitty. Mocha just put that together.
It's the most explosive of powders. A sprinkle, the gentlest of dustings of infernal talc will provoke gems to a molten rage. For the undying, the very sun will rise within their flesh. They will burn for their sins, not a cockroach. They will burn.
She keeps wanting cuddles and you keep moving her. Who are you to deny the cat? How dare you?
I loved Malachi. He gave me gems, divine jewels for his gemling queen. For his dead queen. But I didn't want me dead. Malachi begged. For him, for the Empire. I chose me. Selfish me. The Empire died, and I live. I live, and live, and live, and live.
She's trying to unseat you?
I was the Emperor's
How dare you
favorite
prevent her
for a
from
time. But Chitus had many favorites. He filled the scepter of God with favorites. Every now and then, he cleared away the clutter. Those who pleased him, they were given to his lords and generals. Those who did not were given to his thaumaturgists. I talked too much, asked too many difficult questions. I was gifted to Malachi. My dear, troubled Malachi.
Alright, I'll be right back. I'm going to grab a quick drink of milk. Which is the opposite of what you should drink when you're talking for 4 hours. But, oh well.
You may go.
Oh, what's this?
Malachi, first Caso of Divini, 1329, I see. Pretty as porcelain, but her mouth spins like the potter's wheel. That's how I once described Diala. Yet on this day, my lady is as ravishing as a nightmare, radiant as the fullest moon. Diala is my gemling queen, and we shall rule side by side over the world that will soon come to be.
Yeah, that's not ominous as shit or anything. Alright.
I awoke, feverish, and barely conscious. I set to drawing these maps through the sable hours. By morning, my fingers ached, my eyes burned, yet still I found no rest. The reverie commanded its rendering. The reverie device now stands complete.
There's actually a piece of paper in that model.
I've placed the first of my maps within its receptacle. I've taken my maiden voyage into nightmare. I know now that which sent me this precious gift. It knows me, expects my return. It would be foolish to disappoint. Malachi.
Oh, hey, IGU. How's it going? Just
Tear
continuing
down
the story.
walls that imprison the mind. That is what the gems do. That is their true virtue. The moment my fingertips brushed the cool, silken plains of that first gem, I felt it. My skull ached, as if its contents were growing, pressing against the bone, searching for a way to break free. That night, once the wine had dulled the pain enough to allow the onset of sleep, the dreams began. I have not been without them since. Nor would I be. Every spark of thaumaturgy that I wield, every device that I forge, every creature that I transfigure, I owe to these lessons cloaked in nightmare. From whence do these precepts hail? Certainly not the mundane grey between my ears. I possess only one reference that bears faith, translated with unquestionable clarity by that idiot savant, Isius Perandus, the beast. Duriani of the Vow knew the truth. Soon now, so shall I. Malachi.
God, the guy they got to voice Malachi is just incredible. You can listen to that guy for talk forever. I am going to head back to town real quick, empty my inventory, clear out any dialogue that I have left sitting around. Alright, what have I got? Anything interesting? Nope. Dex, life, energy shield. Yeah, that's an up. Lightning res. Do I have anything on this that matters? No, I don't. Just a little bit of mana. I kind of need that mana, though. No. Nope. Extra mana. Literally nothing useful on these but mana, so I am actually going to swap those.
I've not the muscle for that.
Oh, I don't have enough strength. Alright, see you in a little bit, Moko. Okay, yeah.
Welcome.
What do you got?
A trap is set. A lure is placed. But stronger foes lie in wait.
And you.
Stay out of the shadows. They bite.
I never get... I can never get that particular line out of my head. Stay out of the shadows, they bite. I don't know why that one in particular strikes me so much. Let's see what else he has to say.
There you go. Stay out of the shadows. They bite.
It literally just that... Okay, whatever.
Tala.
What is it? You find a high enough spot and you can see the Lunaris temple over the river, at the western edge of the city. Since the blackguards arrived, the clouds above that temple have been stained with the blackest of smoke. You can see it sometimes when the westerly blows. It stinks worse than death. I know. So strange that stone and metal should move and live as you and I. Still, I read that Chitis's sculptors used to soften their materials with thaumatic sulfite, a byproduct of gem refining. It's the only connection that I can fathom between the cataclysm and the living sculptures of San. See you.
Yeah, the
Gemling Queen, she's impossible. How did she survive? Why is she not one of the Undying? No, these questions can wait. There's a more pressing one. Is she safe from the Ebony Legion? You've been busy. With the spool back where it belongs, the ribbons should be able to keep the Ebony Legion at bay. You've both seen what they can do to a man. Whether you were saving your own skin or thinking of others, it matters little to me. You succeeded where I did not. You have stood in the presence of the Gemling Queen. I can only hope to meet her in my nightmares.
Didn't you just say your nightmares are only of people who are about to die? Why do you want that?
Piety's a genius, sculpting mere human clay into divine gemlings. At least, that's what she told me when she opened me up and buried a virtue gem in my entrails. Malachi did the same in the name of the Emperor centuries ago. Chitis's gemlings still rule San. We call them the Undying now. Now you must leave.
Alright, do I have anything else to do here?
What do you want?
I do.
Citizens of San Bedwars. The Undying have been around for hundreds of years. Left to their own devices, they're likely to survive for hundreds more. Still, they're not immune to mortality's touch. They can be killed with some difficulty.
And Hardy.
Come over here.
Nothing. Awesome. Let's go. And the sewers. Shove this burning enema up the heinous undulating asshole of Sarn. And God, look at that thing. Goodbye and good riddance. Jesus. And here we will find Gravicius. And put him down. A piece of human garbage he is. Oh right, I took off my animate weapon gem. My bad. When I level, it'll be back on. I forgot to ask Clarissa for a... God damn it. Although I guess I get the Ray Spectre gem from Marimoa for this quest, so I don't really need to bother. Oh. Yeah, they've got way more of a beachhead in Lunaris, so I guess they've already taken down all the ribbons that protect this place. One of the advantages of playing a summon answer is that you get to walk around and loot things while your minions do all the heavy lifting. Not that big a deal, but it makes me happy. Okay, come on.
Everything dies.
Awesome. Alright, Gravicius.
I shall purify you in
Yeah, not gonna happen today.
I fought for Rome. Who do you fight for, Exile?
You really didn't.
You wanted me burned back in Audius Gravisius. That wasn't very nice.
Alright, we're gonna take a quick detour and get a Ray Spectre gem, because holy shit.
You are the true spirit of Makor, the shark. Not the cowardly beast that sinks its teeth into the lonely swimmer. You strike the Waikoam, the canoe, spilling a feast of men into the water. Hunters turn hunted that you dine on at your pleasure. Have this, Makor.
And Ray Spectre, thank you very much.
There is nothing else.
We're going to take a detour home to Lionized Watch to grab a minion damage gem and a melee fizz gem. Armor, rarity of items, couple resists. That is actually better. Yeah, that's better than what I got. And what are these boots that I don't need? Okay, how do I want to play this? That gets rid of a couple blue slots that I need. That's troubling. I guess I'm not going to do it. Well, that's a shame. I thought Melee Fizz was here. I guess it's Act 2.
We are blessed.
Another quick detour to grab Tora.
Good to see you alive. You know what, Cup? Every predator needs a den.
And create a hideout.
Always on the lookout for something better, huh?
I'm not going to go over the Master's dialogue. None of that's new, and it's not really part of the story.
Now this is what I call a lair. I knew you'd like it.
Doop, doop, doop. Do a quick mission for Tora.
It's here that I flip.
Oh, I killed all my
here,
zombies,
Exile.
my bad. Hunt down the infected beasts. Oh, hey, there they are. Ow, 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 fuck. Oh, I'm bleeding. Oh, I'm... Ow. 30, area level 32, Jesus. Okay, alright, we're gonna string this out a little bit. Oh no. Four, 5, 6. Okay. Alright, we'll try those out. I'm mostly just gonna level this. Oh god, they're all here. Oh, this area is too high a level for me. Okay, maybe not by that much, but I am not well geared. This is a quick detour anyway. You know, I do wish we still had a reliable option for level 1 gems. Or, like, before the point where we unlock that particular shop. Because it's Siosa in the Live Realm right now, and it's somebody else, I believe in Act 4 or 5, in Act 5 or 6, that lets you buy level 1 gems. And I like them that way. I like the satisfaction of those level up dings. Who are you to deny me that? Ow, 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 fuck. What is making me bleed? Extra damage and bleeding is a mod on magic packs now? Holy shit. Okay, okay.
And that's how we fertilize the soil and... Ready for the hunt?
Alright, what do you got? Nothing. I like the Max Life, but I've got too many other benefits from the one I have on now. Dupe. Alright, back home. Well, not back home. Back to... here. Into Lunaris. And the first part of this game that really emotionally struck me. The interior of Lunaris is beautiful and haunting. And the fact that Pioneer minions defiled such a beautiful place really pissed me off. And then I got to the basement and my anger turned to horror and fury. Take the strength, thank you. I'll put that on, and I have my animate weapon back. That is a larger pack of these guys than I expected. Go around. Oh, I can't go around. Okay, that explains the pathfinding trouble. I don't remember all these being so blue. Were they that before? I don't remember them ever being that blue. Oh boy, in essence. Boss fights everywhere. Stop taking my corpses. I need those. Oh, it's a volatile. Okay, getting the hell away from that. Yeah, that got rid of a couple of my dudes.
A trap is set. A lure is placed. But stronger foes lie in wait.
I'll take the extra magic packs for the EXP, thank you. Elegant sword. I don't know why I opened that door. Kind of a foolish thing to do. And Flesh Rend. Oh, Union of Souls pack. Alright. Come on. Take him down, please. That way we can stop with the endless swarm of enemies he summons. This was a cathedral to Lunaris. And who knows, maybe when I get to Act 8, Lunaris will turn out to be an absolute prick, but... And I forgot how much Lunaris is a boss rush. Flesh Rend, then immediately Coal, then... Oh, God, you are a prick. Own version of Brutus. Pretty much the same moveset, let's be real, but... They add... Right, I won't know. Albert, message Sherpa when you get online. Dear Albert and Sherpa. To whom it may concern, Albert and Sherpa. Whenceforth thou gettest online. Oh, they put a lot more detail into the blood pools. Oh, they moved the Lunaris music. Now it's something else. And you are mine, and you are mine, and you are mine. The way forward, please. That is not it. Oh, hi, Spine Crack. I didn't even notice you. What are you doing? Get your AI in order. One of the interesting things about Piety and Malachi, I think, is that Piety, her, and how they view their creations, Piety's most powerful creations are women. The random miscreations that you have here are made from men, and the tentacle miscreations and whipping miscreations, which are Rip Central, are made out of women. Malachi's most powerful ones, the Gut Spikers, are made from men. It was an interesting little touch that I'm not really sure whether it was intentional or not, but it does say interesting things about the two characters. And how they view people. Okay, I am going to complain about the new blood pool texture. It is way too regular, and it's distracting me. Though they have changed up the layout of Lunaris too. Yeah, the blood pool texture. also always weirded me out a little that there are people writhing in the pools of blood, and you can't help them. In fact, you ignore them and just proceed along your way. I know you're kind of an asshole canonically, but... Oh, hey, belt and a ring. Sweet. I can use that extra strength. Okay, this is not the way. Yeah, I'll finish my circuit around. By the way, when you guys get back, I would love to hear from you. Just to keep the conversation flowing, you know? Pretty much the thing about my streams is that I do interactions with my audience, and that's you guys. But when people don't show up for stuff like Path, I kind of have to flounder a little bit. It's always cool to have people like you here. That is not me trying to guilt anybody for not showing up to my streams, by the way. If it's not a game you're interested in, it's not a game you're interested in. You like what you like, and I am kind of annoyingly evangelical about this game. But I really do appreciate having people here to talk to about it and to explain what's going on and to ask questions and see, you know, what they think of it. Drop a little here for safety. I'm long past the point where I really have a risk of dying here, but it's gotten to be a precaution at this point. Left or right? Keep gaining levels. And that was a dead end. Man, is it just me, or did they make Lunaris way more confusing? Maybe they were concerned people were blowing through it too quickly? I'm not sure I like the changes to Lunaris 2. Plenty of Fish, I haven't logged into you in literally years. Why do you keep sending me emails? I should really delete that account. Oh, they actually show you which side it is. Meaning you don't have to run back and forth checking. The Lunaris layout is way more circuitous. You got ported in for the boss kill? Fair enough. The Lunaris layout is way more circuitous than it was before. Lots more dead ends and weird ways to go. Maybe just the generation algorithm got a little messed up, but it might be intentional. I'm not sure. But I think I don't like this new Lunaris very much. That is not the way. Oh, minion life support. You know what's weird, Psalm? I've started running a Brine Rot Mark on this build for the extra levels and HP pool for the Golem. Well, energy shield pool, but effective HP pool. Like, I like it. It makes it tougher. I run 3 Golems anyway, and making them a higher level is cool. There are more people in pieces scattered around, or at least I'm noticing them this time. Alright, on to the piety fight. Yeah, it's moderately hard to get. I'm probably not going to get one at any point in the beta, but I am liking it. I think I have a couple sitting around in standard that I'll probably throw onto my template character when I get the chance.
Of all the worlds you could have conquered, you had to choose mine. Such power wasted on a feeble imagination.
Piety still uses the same animation she does when you start fighting her in the crematorium. I think that probably should be changed.
It's too late for regret. It's too late for regret.
Also, the fact that she just stands around means that you can pile out a bunch of minions as the fight starts. Wow, that was way too easy.
I loved your work, Piety. It was you I wasn't very fond of.
Oh, way more detail on the body bridge, though. Jeez. Ooh, somebody had a bad day. And it wasn't Piety. Her day was just alright. But yeah, I think it's the Brine Rot mark, the Brine Rot ring, that gives socketed Golem gems like +3 levels. Hey, welcome back, Moko. I've never rolled a Necromancer, that was unfair. Yeah, you're not as fast as the meta builds, but you are surrounded by a roaming cloud of death. And it's 7 kinds of awesome. I'll up my strength. Melee gems. Chaos res. No, I still need that. I still need that gem set up. Int and nothing else. All right. Keep the resistances. So lightning gems, mana, nothing else. All right. You don't get many. You don't get many ups for your gear as a necromancer.
Piety's off to meet the Maker, is she? I'd love to be a fly on the wall of that little chap.
Why did that close Harkin's text box? That's weird. But yeah, necromancers aren't like super fast, and thus they're not super meta. But you're commanding a huge cloud of death, and it's incredibly satisfying. If you've never rolled a necromancer, man, I highly recommend it. It's loads of fun, and I can give you a lot of advice with it.
Come over here. You've done for Gravicius. If only I could get word to that lad I smuggled away from the general's wife at the time. The good widow would need a sympathetic shoulder to cry on.
Better shoulder than Gravicius's. Gravicius's.
You have claimed the most worthy of prey, Makoru. Piety, the mistress of corruption. I'm not saying that the war is over, but you've given Rayclass a much-needed respite. Because of you, this land lives to see another dawn. And don't forget that you've done Grigor and Clarissa a justice of some magnitude. They will wish to speak to you. There is nothing else.
Yep, Piety has the best quest reward in the game.
Wherever he is, I'm sure Tolman knows what you've done. I know you didn't do it for him, or for me. It doesn't matter. Piety's reign of cruelty is over. Thank you. Gravicius dined with us once. This was before my father's gambling debts caught up with him. I dined with him again in Theopolis prison the night before my exile. He wasn't so polite that time. Thank you. That's one memory I can now put to rest. Watch yourself.
Yeah, this game doesn't pull its punches, by the way.
Piety dies amongst her abominations, her warped dream taunting her, maddeningly out of reach. As a poet, I'm fond of that creed of justice. Here, the executioner needs recompense.
And 2 passive skill points, thank you.
Unfortunately, Piety was simply a puppet of a greater force. You've cut the strings, but the master remains. Dominus. That key you've picked up, I heard the blackguards talk of it. It's the one key to the Scepter of God on the northern edge of the blackguard encampment. Only Piety was permitted to carry it. Dominus accessed his laboratory at the summit of the tower via a pulley system rigged to the outside wall. that way will be barred to you. And I heard of no one, not even piety, going in or coming out of the lower levels. Go with care, Exile. I can't imagine what's inside that tower if even piety and Dominus feared to tread its steps.
It's actually not that scary. There's a bunch of undying, and that's about it.
When piety was experimenting on me, my consciousness was mercifully fleeting. In those moments of numbing darkness, I met a presence. Intelligence, power, immensity beyond the limits of my pitiable mortal senses. To this creature, I was but a ring.
Oh, whoops.
When piety was...
This creature was but a raindrop falling into the sea. I heard Piety speak of her lackeys of the beast, the source of her thaumaturgy, the object of her ambitions. I believe Piety's beast and that dark entity are one and the same. Whatever it is, wherever it is, the beast is the cause of my malformation. The source of all malformation in rape class. Alright. Alright, let's spend these points. Get some more Zambos. Alright.
Need some help.
Onward. We're almost done with Act 3. I know I've been going it slow, so it's really silly to say, oh, that didn't take very long, but it's gone a lot quicker than it usually does, because of, like, that 15 minutes or so that got cut out of the sewers. It feels like it's gone more quickly anyway. We've still got a couple side trips to make. I'm headed to the library to get the rewards there, and then I'm gonna go get the what's it? Hang on. I'll keep the bleed flask. And then I'm gonna head to the hedge maze to do Fairgraves and the last of the trials. I'm probably not going to do the trials until the end of Act 4. Or I'm probably not going to do the core trial until the end of Act 4. Area level 30, I'm fine here. Library first. Is it just me, or is the foliage much prettier now? Did they upgrade those graphics? But yeah, Tom, if you've never tried a Necromancer, I've been playing them literally since 2014 in this game. I highly, highly recommend it. It's an interesting experience. I don't know why people say that leveling as a Necromancer is hard. I think those people might not be using Summon Raging Spirits in their build. I don't really get it. It's 5 chest level. Oh, there's some hulking titans that I'm going to replace my dudes with. Oh, hey, Oira Ona. Hi, Oira. Bye, Oira. Wait, Oira's a dude? I always get the names of these exiles wrong. Yeah, I highly recommend it. It's loads of fun. Oh, they definitely added some detail to the debris around here. Awesome. The hell? Is that water or is that energy? I guess it's water. It just has a really weird lighting on it. You can always do the fancy stuff. Yeah, having a Necromancer support is what a lot of racers will do. They'll have somebody following behind. They'll have a team in longer races too. Like they'll have somebody leveling. They'll have a Necromancer support follow along with them. Oh, I can get the Skelebears. And they'll have somebody doing trading for their team or for their guild, just amassing wealth. And big guilds will organize this to a huge degree, and it's actually really interesting to think about, but not really something I'm interested in doing. I like playing... I almost said I like playing with myself. I like playing by myself. I like the sense of progression, and I like taking it at my own pace. I also have clinical OCD, and leaving worthless currency behind drives me insane. Got it. Okay. Alright, Siosa Warby. But yeah, how's the computer doing, Moko? Where the hell did they change the layout? I mean, they've changed a lot of these layouts. I don't know why I keep being surprised. Ah, there we go. Oh man, Tom, though, the new map, isn't it amazing? I'm probably not going to talk to, listen to everything Siosa says, because he's very long-winded, but...
Please, do not be alarmed. I am neither monster nor murderer, though that is the duality of existence that defines some these days. My name is Siosa Fuama, and I have the bleak honor of being the sole scholar to the Imperious Intellection, this grand repository of knowledge you see about you. May reason preserve us.
Supporter pack was bought the second you saw it.
For
Yeah.
mundane circumstances, it would be preposterous to ask this of you, an utter stranger, but given that I don't know in which century I might see another pair of flesh and bone hands, there's a door, you see, concealed behind the shelves. It leads into the archives. That's where Isius Perandus concealed his golden pages. Can you see how maddening that would be for me? No, of course you can't. Ridiculous of me to... Suffice to say that they are beyond my reach. 4 Varlish texts they are, of priceless historical insight. Please, find my friend's golden pages and bring them to me. You will be rewarded. I vow it before the ancestors.
Really enjoying the stream, by the way, man. I've never gotten into the lore, and this is really nice to have. The lore in this game is really cool. I'm always disappointed that people skip it on first playthroughs, because listening to these guys talk, you learn so many cool things about the world. And there's some really great voice performances. I have $4.25 rent for a place in. I forgot to hide this. I have New York City. That's like a cardboard box in the corner with your own cutout windows. I have a one-room place above somebody else with a shared bathroom and a non-kitchen. I'm moving to a place above another old lady, this place in fact, that I'm in right now, that's got a lot more space and is only 400, but it's in a tiny middle of nowhere town, which is probably why it's so low. But yeah, a non-kitchen, yeah, it's not much of a kitchen. It has a fridge, and it has a microwave. And no stove. Yeah, the space here is nice. I wonder, have they given Victorio any audio? No, they haven't. I'm not gonna wander through the archives reading it. I might do a video at some point that wanders through the archives, recording all the books and reading them out loud. I might actually do that. That would be fun. Yeah, the move is going to be good. my expenses are actually going to go up slightly because I'm sharing the cost of the internet at the place I'm currently at, but the extra space is going to be worth it, and the extra comfort and the better bed, and still going to have a non-kitchen, but you know, I don't need to cook that much anyway. I've got a thing to microwave ramen in. Yeah, what I'm thinking is when the full game releases, I'll go through it, I'll record my own playthrough privately, showing off the bits of stuff that got added between the games, between the beta and that, like in the upgrade. And then I'll do a video for that, and then I'll do a full video for Acts 9 and 10. The same way I've done videos for Acts 1 and 2, and I'm currently doing a playthrough of Act 3. And it's gonna be a lot of fun. I love the story in this game. I don't need that sword anyway. Oh, it feels so weird not picking up leather belts. But there's no real economy in the beta. There's no point in trading them or trying to chance them. They were a regular source of income in leagues. Oh man, interestingly, as much as I love this game, it doesn't make me want to make an ARPG. Because I'm happy with this game as the great ARPG. I don't think I can really top it. I could probably try, I'd come up with something good, but I'm happy with Path of Exile. I don't feel the need to come up with improvements like I would to Diablo 2 or Diablo 3, holy shit. Stuff, and I'm happy with the story. There are a few changes I would make, but not that many. And I don't really have my own ARPG story to tell. Moko and I are working on what will probably end up being a game. Like, we're both really excited about the project and want to make it, and we've got a really good idea of how the game is going to be. We're still in the proto stages of the game, doing character design work and figuring out how the game would function in general. But I don't think I would look to do an ARPG at any point. Unless we got like a really brilliant idea. Lumen the Ghost Psychiatrist ARPG. That wouldn't work at all. No. Ignore that statement. That's absolutely where she's going to end up when she's older, by the way. If we ever wind up doing another game in the Lumen universe, or any other kind of story... Oh, hold on. I'm getting a call from Sean. Hang on. Okay, I'm going to grab the other golden pages here, and then I'm going to pause for a sec because Sean is downstairs and wants help bringing stuff up when he gets here in a couple minutes. The Lumenverse, yeah. But yeah, Lumen will absolutely, as an adult, or even just as a late teenager, pursue a career of paranormal investigation and helping ghosts
Clutter.
Too much clutter. All right. I'm very deliberately not plotting out any sequels because I want to focus on the game we have. Hey, a diff card. Because I want to focus on the game we have in front of us, but that is absolutely where I think we would go. Okay, I can't pause this game like I can Diablo 3. I'll be right back. Okay, give me a sec to bring everything back up.
Oh, the stream?
Yeah, I set it to set me away while I was away.
Oh.
And that was to the viewers, not to you. By all means, talk to me on stream. I am not a stickler for that. But you should know that it's up. Okay. More base energy shield than it has. Extra life is cool. Take flame dash off for a sec. Let's see. Nope, doesn't drop any dex requirements that I have. Oh, I should fuse that. Hold on. Yeah. All right, Spectre minion damage. Whew. But yeah, I'm back, guys. Res. Yeah, that's better than the second ring I have. So, I don't know when the first wipe is going to be, so I'm going to try to finish the campaign over the next,
Let me tell your future. The storm's about to strike with precision. A deft foot will avoid the blows.
So I'm going to try to finish the campaign within within this week. I'm going to be doing an episode of Steven Universe tomorrow when I get home. No, I'm not. I'm going to be doing a stream of Minecraft and then an episode of Steven Universe when I get home tomorrow. But in the meantime... Okay, Siosa.
By the ancestors, it's good to see fresh words in front of me. Now, my translation skills are not what Isius were. I can achieve a meager paraphrase at best. But a little knowledge is better than none, is it not? Let us begin. This tapestry of truth is a threadbare cloth indeed, but at least you have allowed me to begin the first few stitches in its restoration, and to settle the memory of a dear friend. In return, allow me to give you this, a little practical wisdom to improve your lot.
Yes, please. What you got for me? Rapid Decay, the Penetration Gems, Chance to Ignite, Burning Damage, and Blasphemy. None of that's useful to this build, so... I guess I'll grab Blasphemy, just for whatever.
It is the cardinal way to observe nature in nature. The fish without the sea is no longer a fish. It is dinner. The Eternals did not see it that way. An Eternal catches the fish, guts the fish, preserves the fish, and places it in a box. Only then does the Eternal feel he truly understands the fish.
You know, I get where you're coming from, Siosa, but I think it's a little more complex than that. You can learn a lot from gutting and preserving a fish. I'm not sure the Eternals did. But, you know, somewhere in between the two stances.
My word. Valish contextualized syntax is a slippery eel indeed. Let me see if I can grab it by the gills. They carried their virtue gems to Doriani's bed. No, that's not quite right. Ah, yes. Doriani's cradle. The historian finishes that it was a price they needed to pay to ensure a Valish future. A cradle of virtue gems? What sort of varlish future did Doriani hope to ensure?
One for him and his queen, and nobody else.
Splendid. Let's see what this page has to offer us. It talks of Queen Atsiri.
She of the quad boob.
Here's a portentous line. She drenches her altars with the blood of those deranged enough to question her vision. The next piece is a real eye-crosser, but I believe it refers to a communion. Something to do with the harvest moon? Again, Doriani seems at the heart of it. Good. This line I can read without issue. This will be our final night of fear, our final night of suffering. Sacrifice, communion, the harvest moon.
Sean just stole my fan and is holding it up to his face. And it's one of the big box fans, too.
And we're 3 layers to umpire tonight.
3?
Yes.
Good God, man.
Shirt, chest gear, and a shirt over it.
Oh, you poor bastard.
Oh, my.
Sean on baseball games sometimes.
First line is frighteningly clear. Our queen is dead.
No, she's not.
Doriani is dead. So many have fallen, so many have changed. The latter text is almost indecipherable. It practically hums with agitation. Let me see. I can make out the words sleep, nightmare, and the beast. Whatever that may be. Our historian finishes with, we have succeeded where our forebears did not. We have failed ourselves. I need not imagine the fall of the Val. I saw the nightmare with my own eyes.
I still can't adjust to that being pronounced Val instead of Vale. Here's the thing about story in ARPGs. The natural gameplay urge is going to be to rush through the content, to kill things faster, to find loot faster, to push higher content faster. And so you leave these things by the wayside. Making them optional streamlines the process and lets people consume the lore at their own pace. A lot of them, unfortunately, that paces don't do it at all. Sean.
I was put in charge of dating the most antiquated of texts. This parchment, it's a remarkable copy, but it's no original. Much younger. Oh my. Listen to this. My dearest Isius, I have been enlightened beyond expectation. Your work in translating these artifacts is worthy of the highest recompense, and thus I am delighted to offer you a position in my personal laboratory. Please do not give your escorts any consternation. I would be most pained to see such a precious asset damaged in any way. I very much look forward to working with you. Isius Perandus, your friend and admirer, Malachi. Poor Isius. Wherever you went, my pity goes with you.
Yeah, working with Malachi is never a good end.
It was a Karwi Motiata that discarded my failing body of flesh in favor of canvas and oil. An ancient song and a momentary lapse in judgment that I've had more than enough time to regret.
I wonder what actually keeps him bound to the world. If you burned the painting, would he pass on?
I suppose every civilization has its Doriani, its Malachi, men of divine talent and demented ambition. Without them, history would be a far less interesting place. How Malachi survived the Purity Rebellion, I don't know. He was at Emperor Vol's side before Chich's corpse was even cold. I suppose Vol found him as difficult to refuse as Ishias did. Malachi would never have risen so far without the patronage of an emperor like Chichis. It would appear that Doriani and Queen Atsiri shared a similar relationship. It was said of the beautiful Atsiri that she wished to see her likeness reflected in the still waters of history. Chitis was no less self-impressed. Of all the sins, vanity is the most hideous.
That's kind of poetic. I like that.
Sun fell in the course of an hour, no more. A tempest raged down from the mountains and engulfed the city, throwing it into midday darkness. I saw madness in my colleagues' eyes, watched as the most rational men in the Empire jabbered and slavered and slaughtered each other. I witnessed Trinian, our gemling intellectus prime, engulfed by the radiance of his flaming cranial gem, and wither like a grape in the sun into a thing of desiccation and famishment. I've seen mountains spew fire in Namakanui. I've seen waves as tall as trees and winds that leveled warriors and walls alike. Nature is what nature is. There was nothing natural about the cataclysm.
Well, you're damn right on that one. Oh, he still sells level 1 gems. Interesting. Okay. You have to have the, stuff with you to buy them.
Fortune favor you.
Onwards. But yeah, Tom, I'm glad I can introduce you to a lot of the lore of this game. Like I said, I love it to pieces. And some of the voice performances are incredible. Oh, hey, Katarina.
Let us speak of death. Life will lose its way in the darkness to come. This land must take its final rest so that it can rise once again in undying perfection. I honor the darkness with my art to prove that I am worthy of a place in its dream-made reality. To the blind of sight and numb of touch, my sculpture may seem complete. Far from it. Like a raw and chewy steak, it requires marinating, and not with any mundane cooking concoction. My sculpture must be steeped in the delectable juices of deathly corruption. Only then will it be palatable to my undying patron. Today, you and I shall devote ourselves to the pursuit of art. There is no greater cause. My sculpture complains that it is
Yeah, I have the first 2 parts up on my YouTube already. You are absolutely welcome to check them out. I didn't realize that you hadn't really looked into the lore of this game. It's really fascinating stuff. Like, the super bosses you fight in this game aren't just... Whoa. The hell? Charred skeletons. Oh, right, they're just Katarina's nonsense. Completely forgot. I'm so expecting of new bosses to fight that I completely missed that they were just old bosses in new clothing.
Really? There are those that name us.
I'm really not going to listen to her. But yeah, I understand why people don't stop to listen to the lore of this game, but it really does disappoint me. Hey, Verici.
A moment of your time.
Go down, please, and thank you. I want to talk to my... He's not really my bro, he's kind of an asshole.
Yes, you'll do. Now listen carefully, for I do disdain repetition.
God, what a dick.
There are those who live for greater things in Rayclast, and then there are those who just live. One of the latter.
Have a nice one, Moko.
Right now, grasping at our future with greedy little fingers. Slaughter the malcontents' protectors, but leave the principal antagonist
one of these.
alive.
All right.
I wish to
whatever. don't remember this music being here. Maybe I just never spent enough time in here to notice. It does feel weird, though. I think I associate it... Maybe it's, again, maybe it's just because I'm paying very close attention. Ah, here we go. Here's the trial. I said here's the trial. Missed me. Ow. Okay, okay, alright.
An emperor must know precisely where he stands. A leader cannot simply stride forward into the future and expect his people to be able to follow. A leader must look over his shoulder so that he can witness and understand the consequences of the path he has chosen, to ensure that his people are still with him, to ensure that he has not become lost.
I'm out of Quicksilver. Hang on. Oh, that's possessed. Awesome. Ow. Go down already. Come on.
Everything dies.
Here's one of my complaints about Diablo 3 is that the higher difficulties just feel like they're pouring on HP and stats to the enemies, which means that it doesn't really feel like a natural growth. They just get harder and harder and harder and have more HP, and it doesn't feel like a natural progression the same way. There's a benches bug now. Dumped enough jewelers to 6-socket bench. Didn't get the 6-socket. What's wrong with the benches? Oh yeah, Tom, you should talk to me after the stream and add me on battle.net. It'd be cool to have somebody to play some of these games. I don't know if you even have Diablo 3. I'm still exploring the Paragon levels. The end game of Diablo 3 is a lot more fun than the regular game. Okay. Let's take a quick detour to Fairgraves and then up the Scepter of God. Nope. Yeah, get rid of both of those.
Hello.
They'll disappear from your hideout if you
Watch
upgrade
yourself.
or invite another master to it, I believe. Something messed up. All I can say is don't upgrade. GGG temporarily disabled benches. Wow, that's a rough bug. It is the beta, though, so I guess when they're debuting new systems, it makes sense for them to run into unexpected problems.
Come over here.
What do you want?
Alright, Fairgraves. Let's see if you've got anything new. The docks.
Look at the sheen on that plum. Is it not the most delectable fruit that you've ever seen? No? Perhaps the glass of hope is for my eyes only.
Yeah, I recently started doing another playthrough of it just to give it another chance, but...
Wondrous! Nothing bonds two souls more soundly than murder. For that reason alone, I knew you could be relied upon. Now, for a little amateur vintnering, quick Squeeze of the plum like so into the decanter. Oh my. Look how it transmutes the juice so swiftly from material to spectral.
No worries, Tom.
And what an aroma. Imminent death never smelled so sweet. I believe I shall call this fine concoction the Imperial Nightcap. Now, before I get too carried away, there's the small matter of your recompense.
Alright, what do you got for me, Fairgraves? Rings. Alright, fair enough.
A toast to swift endings and promising new beginnings. Oh, and you might want to avert your gaze once I have quaffed this diabolical brew. I doubt that my return to solidarity will be a pretty one. Right. As I used to say in the love dens of Trathus, bottoms up, girls.
I love that he's tied to his anchor.
Now that's an unusual sensation. Oh dear. Something is amiss. The all flame. It's... No. No, no, no. It's gone out. What am I... You cannot be. I will not.
Oh, so it was just a spectral bow on that boat. Interesting. Well, that's it for Fairgraves for now.
Sailor boy, doomed to go wherever the winds blow him.
On to the final approach, to the end of Act 3. I wonder, they'll probably have given Dominus a lot more to say, considering that they've given him, they brought in his voice actor to do the new opening cutscene, which is really cool. You do have D3, but you can never get into it. Yeah, I mean, it's not good. Even though Reaper of Souls changes, it's not good. Like, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I don't know. They built the campaign around the existence of Paragon levels, for starters. I ran Sean through Act 1. Like, I took my level 70 endgame character. Sean started a game, cranked it up as high as the difficulty would go, which is only 2 notches out of 15. I rushed him through Act 1. He was level 40 by the time we got out of there, and we were blowing through it. It was ridiculous. We haven't gone back to do that. I've just been leveling Paragon idly otherwise, but that's still cool. The leveling curve in that game is broken and
Remember,
unfun.
Dominus, what goes up must come down.
There's so many problems. Malachi, laureate thaumaturge to the Eternal Empire, the father of dreams. Aesthetically, it's... I've never gotten the people who think it's aesthetically beautiful. It looks like World of Warcraft. I mean, there's a reason for that. It was done by the Warcraft dev team. But it really doesn't fit the aesthetic of the game at all, of the series at all. First off, there's the jump from medieval horror fantasy to Victorian era horror fantasy, which I will harp on endlessly, and how everyone is vaguely British and vaguely. It's just the aesthetics don't come together to give you a Diablo experience. The stuff in heaven is cool, if a bit generic. Diablo's new design is really neat. I like that they gave him a female frame based on who he came out of. But there's a lot of confluence of awfulness that I think might just be adding together to give me a really sour opinion of everything. Like, I like almost none of the things about the game, which makes my opinions of other parts of the game, which I would normally give leeway on if I liked other parts, I'm not giving any leeway on it, because all the other parts are bad, so I'm not inclined to forgive the parts of their weaknesses. I hate it.
It beats the hell out of RuneScape.
It does beat the hell out of RuneScape, I guess.
And only RuneScape.
And only RuneScape. Yeah, you've got a point there, Sean. Don't tell Zay he'll get up our asses because he loves RuneScape.
Zay might be going to.
Yeah. I played some RuneScape back when it was new and it looked like something that would have come out of N64. Being free does give a game a lot of leeway. And RuneScape was free. Like, let's not forget. I think RuneScape is still free, I'm not sure. Here's where you can really get into some metal alongside the orchestral stuff. I do like the soundtrack in this game. Symphonic metal is always something I've enjoyed. Camelot's one of my favorite bands, after all, but there's something about the Master Mission music that feels a little off. I don't know. Alright, so top left corner. Got it. They also focus the music on atmosphere in this game, which is really to its benefit. Oh, what's up, Kaliga? You're not in your usual place. Ow. Wait, hang on. Is the Scepter of God only 2 floors per... Oh, okay, no. That is the icon for doorway to next part of the level. Added lightning damage for Leviathan, who left 2 hours ago. So, Tom, do you have $500, like whatever the lifetime barrier is, or did you buy a supporter pack to get in?
My dear Chitters, the Empire has lived in fear and ignorance since its inception.
Silly question.
Needy ancestors.
You already told me you bought a
arrogance
supporter pack.
Turned their backs on the lessons of the vow.
Come to me, Exile.
The emperors before you
Let us speak of
lacked
death
courage,
and desire.
lacked vision, paying lip service to eternity.
Oh, God damn it! You better have it now. Which pack did you get? Okay, I'm not going to drag Katarina's minions across the entire stage. I'm not going to bother that. Here's the other thing, Tom. Necromancers ignore large swaths of game of monster mechanics. Proximity shields? Who cares? Half the map mods that affect the damage you do? Who cares? Stuff that reduces armor? Who cares? Stuff that reduces block chance? Who gives a shit? I'd have to really look over a bunch of the things, because I made a list a long time ago of the things that my Necromancer build just straight up ignores. But I can't remember half of it. 2, 3. Get blinded? Nobody cares. Your cloud of death doesn't care about your... That's what pisses me off the most about Diablo 3. Your minions are entirely based on your stats. Like, it doesn't force you to focus in on them. You can't focus in on them. You can't make builds. And I've realized I'm starting to harp on about Diablo 3 again. I'm sorry, but... My God, are the design choices in that game frustrating to me. Picked up the Outlaw. Yeah, that looks pretty sick. I don't know, I like the Beast MTX. I like some of the other stuff that's available. I'd have to look at the list again to see which ones I, in particular, was fond of. But, I'm just too broke to get them, man. I'm getting my security deposit, when I move out of, Patty's place. But that's going to go towards bills and rent and stuff. Just funds are held back since you have to move. You're in the exact same boat. Where are you heading to? Yep, that's Paradise. Gotcha, match. Alright. Da. Sell that. There's the way up. And I believe that puts me... Same high-rise 2 floors up. Current unit you're in was sold by the condo owner, so she requests to break the lease. Luckily, another popped up. It's 200 more per month for the same exact apartment. That sucks! Move to Maine. You'll get an apartment for $600 a month. Ooh, what'd you drop? Orbit Chance. Not as exciting in the beta realm, but... Alright, boss time. Dominus. Jesus, you're paying $2,000 a month? The hell kind of... I guess it is New York.
You'd bite the master that called you here, witch?
I sure would, Dominus. Ow, rude. No.
I need more mana.
$2,400 a month. A luxury building. Alright, fair enough. I suppose you get some neat perks for paying that price?
Have you ever seen the true face of God, Exile? Die! The touch of God! The touch of God! Die in awe!
A pool in New York City is probably a quarter of that damn right. I guess so. Meanwhile, I have a town pool, like a really nice town pool about a mile from where I live.
This world is an illusion.
Sauna, library, dance, yoga studio, gym. You get your own library? That's nuts. Alright, Dominus. Now for the easy half of the fight. Did you miss me? I mean, yeah, the buildings, but, like, it's for the building. It's dedicated to the building. Bam. Ooh.
No one will cry for you, Dominus. Not a soul.
Alright, Diala.
You have mounted the summit of the Empire, not a cockroach. You have crushed the bug Emperor and wiped his maggot dreams from the skin of Rayclast. Dominus exiled you, naked and alone, unto the palm of death. But you would not die, would you? No. No. You cuddled death, promised it the world, made it your consort, and so generously shared it with all your fleeting friends here in Rayclast. Not once did you forget what you were. Not a cockroach feeding on the corpse of the dead Empire, like the pests you crushed as you walked. A woman. The sort of woman that planted the seed of this Empire right here in Sam so long ago. What teetering and twisted life it still holds dear, this land owes to you. Witch. Of course, there will be more. You know that, don't you? Emperors. Avaricious little pests scrabbling to steal the legacy of their betters. Unless we burn that legacy, sear its infection from the flesh of existence. Go north, my lovely Umbug. Go to Highgate, to the beginning of the end. Dive headlong into the nightmare sea. Catch and roast yourself a nice big fishy.
This was where the game ended before 2.0 and we got Act 4. Act 4 was one of the hypest things we'd ever seen. I already have Act 4. Awesome. And it was incredible. Like, so many new bosses, so many cool lore things, so many new skills and skill categories. I am going to head back to town. I'm going to give one shot at the Lord's Labyrinth, and then I'm going to call it a stream for the night. I don't want to tie up my buddy in silence for too long. Like, give me a minute here.
How you doing?
Empty my inventory. Check and see if anyone else has something to say.
Kala.
What is it?
Nobody has a word to say about the death of Dominus. That's always bothered me. People in Act 1 and 2 had things to say when you killed their bosses. Alright. Aspirants Plaza. Try and get my Necromancer Ascendancy.
You stand
Waypoint?
before the gates
What?
of the Lord's Labyrinth. Within these walls, the Lady of Justice doth preside.
Since
She
when?
shall weigh your mind in one hand, your heart in the other. The just goddess presides over us all.
I didn't mean to do that. I thought
the
that was the map.
future of the Empire rests in her even hands.
Labyrinth activation device. Alright, I'll read the whole thing. You stand before the gates of the Lord's Labyrinth. Within these walls, the Lady of Justice doth preside. She shall weigh your mind in one hand, your heart in the other. Should she find you wanting, death shall be your sentence. Should she find you worthy, you will be given the loyalty and love of an empire. The Lord's Labyrinth awaits you. Choose wisely, strike quickly, trust completely, and may you find the ending that you deserve. Oh, whoa. Okay, that's cool. So completed all trials in all previous labyrinths to activate this labyrinth. So there's more trials in later acts now. Oh, cool. and you just come back here to do it. That's neat.
Justice will prevail.
I'm not going to cheat and have Tom help me. I'm just going to go do it. I love the music in this area, too, and I love Izzaro's voice performance. Apparently, that guy was a character in Hercules and Xena.
In the impressionable youth of my reign, I was encouraged to believe in the precious nature of my imperial blood. The divine claret, as one fool of a courtier would repeat with tiresome regularity. Unfortunately, my divine claret refused to pour from one cup to another. Try as I might, with a lovely procession of young and ever dutiful wives, my noble seed simply would not sprout. Who then to choose as my worthy successor? With the candidates on hand either mediocre at best or maniacal at worst, I found myself in quite the quandary. That's when fortune took me by the hand and led me to a forgotten tome on a forgotten shelf in the quietest corner of San Library. A tome entitled Ancient Traditions of Asmerian Ascendancy. The rest, one might say, is history.
Oh, man, I love his voice performance. Alright. Alright. I'm not going to bother with any silver keys or doors. I'm just going to blow through the labyrinth. You know, it just occurred to me that one of the criticisms I have about Diablo 3 and how you can't really invest in particular skills as you could in Diablo 2. No, that criticism is still sound in light of my love of Path of Exile. You just do, like, you don't invest in the skill itself, you invest in the type of thing it is. And you do have to focus down, but it also lets you focus down and build interesting different builds, which Diablo 3 really doesn't. Did you play Reaper of Souls, Tom? They've changed a lot since launch. Yeah, the shallowness of the build puddle in Diablo 3, especially after having been spoiled by Diablo 2 and Path of Exile, it's just ludicrous. Diablo 3 was your first ever Diablo, you poor bastard. I hope you've played Diablo 2 at some point, just to see what the series is actually about. Alright, what's behind here? Okay, come on. Let me through. Oh, it's just a dark shrine. I'm not going to bother with that. Ow. Onward and upward. Okay, it is still monster level 33. There's a reason Diablo 2 has endured where Diablo 3 has fallen apart. Although not so much in recent years as Path of Exile has increasingly stepped up. But Diablo 2 still deserves its player base, unlike Diablo 3. I hate that game, can you tell? I don't think you've noticed. And the thing is, it's not a terrible game. It's just a terrible Diablo game. Like, the console version is actually a pretty neat beat-em-up. Something to play once in a while on an afternoon. It's just that, the PC version is a terrible ARPG. And this genre is near and dear to my heart, so it's something I get really salty about. It's not like it was Other M. And here's the thing, if this game hadn't had Diablo on it, it would have gone down in history as an interesting experiment that ultimately didn't have as much depth as it could have. And make sure you're on Discord. I'll arrange something with you with D2. I might try to play with you. Might have some other resources that'll help us play together. Diablo 2, I actually like the graphics of Diablo 2 better than the ones in Diablo 3. Like, straight up. I don't like the cartoony nature of Diablo 3. I don't... It's just, it's... And again, it's not like it's Metroid Other M. It's at least a competently put together game. It's just not up to snuff for the genre. A lot of my gripe is with the story, admittedly. That's not really a huge gripe you can bring against an ARPG, but it sours the whole experience for me. Ow, 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 shit. You know what really weirds me out is the number of people who come to Path of Exile thinking it's an MMO.
I need more mana.
And considering my experience with MMOs, I always get a little insulted on its behalf when they say that, but it weirds me out. I don't really understand the line of thought that leads people to advertise this as an MMO. It's a very different game structure. That. So I'm going to animate the shit out of it in a bit. Alright, where's the way forward? Yeah, MMO like WoW or Rift or EVE Online, I guess. It's a very different experience from any of those, really. Got it, okay. Did not drop a weapon for me to animate later. Here. Yeah, I'm skipping a bunch of enemies. I don't feel like taking the time to kill everything. And there's the Aspirant's Trial. Awesome.
The weary traveler draws close to the end of the path.
I love that line.
The Asmeri were the first culture known in history to use trials of strength, wisdom, and spirit to select its chieftains. The first Lord's Trial was a rough-hewn maze festooned with wild animals and brutal traps, crafted to test aspiring Asmerian leaders' body, mind, and soul. In conquering the adversities of the maze, a champion proved they were capable of bearing the crushing burden of chieftainship. The first trials were simple contraptions reflecting simple times. As the Asmerian civilization grew in number and complexity, so did the trials, from treacherous mazes to bewildering labyrinths. Alas, there are no surviving descriptions of the labyrinth that tested and proved the worth of Viruso Prima Imperialis. I imagine it was quite something to behold.
All right,
it is the
Azara.
sovereign who empowers the scepter, not the other way round.
You big ugly fuck.
Are you a martyr?
Okay. Go get it, boys and girls. Come on, take it down. Ow, 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 ow. Shit, shit, shit. Ow.
Claim your inheritance.
Oh, I got temp chains on me now. Oh, shit. Okay.
Even the great scepter of God shall fall.
Oh, get rid of the temp chains, please. Okay, thank you, God.
You are relentless.
See, here's the thing. Diablo 3, every character in that game sucks your dick. Everybody. Every one of your allies tells you how awesome you are. And it's every 5 seconds. Whenever you level up, whenever you see or kill a blue pack or a yellow monster, it's ridiculous. That game.
Give up yourself.
And the Nephilim thing is especially bullshit.
By the goddess.
In this game, everybody's apprehensive of you. Everybody's not really sure who you're going to kill when you're done facing their enemies. And Izzaro's adversarial relationship with you is something special. And the way he talks about you as you're ascending through a trial meant to prove you're worthy to become the Emperor, there's a different tone to that. Okay, straight shot through this one. The tone of... not only does the game very rarely wrap its lips around your phallus, it's... the tone of it is always different from the way it is in Diablo 3. Like, yes, you are the Nephilim, especially born to defy fate. None of us can do anything without you. You are the savior of the world. Here it's like, yeah, you're very powerful. We're kind of worried about what you're going to do to us when you're done. Like, please don't kill us.
The Ezomite and the Eternal took their rest in the lee of Strife's gale and remembered the travelled road. Beast and fiend had fallen and bled to the Ezomite's sword, swift and true. Trap and trial had risen and succumbed to the Eternal's wits, quick and shrewd. 2 men had cried their triumph, a warrior and his guide, whilst other ascendants echoed their pride with anguish and agony.
And the real crux of that is that in Diablo 3 the game constantly tells you you're awesome. Path of Exile lets you be awesome. Alright, straight shot forward. Probably straight into the next trial. It's the old rhyme from Egoraptor with Skyward Sword and the other Zeldas. I'm here to kill monsters. You don't need to tell me I'm a hero. I know I'm a hero. That's why I'm playing this game, is to be a legendary hero. Going on and 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 on about it is detrimental to the play experience. There are things about that video that I don't particularly agree with, but that's a point that I really do like. Stating closure. I don't think that's the way forward. Let's take a look. And nope. Heavy strike, like I'm gonna pick that up. Oh, you. go on to the Aspirant's trial.
When the time comes to strike, an emperor strikes without hesitation. To entertain doubt is to dance with death. The Asmeri were consummate survivors. They had to be, having been sired in the most inhospitable range of mountains in all of Rayclast. Unfortunate, some might say. I do not. I believe it was the making of them, and of us, their descendants. So it is no wonder that they developed the Lord's trial. With survival being a moment-by-moment concern, that harried people grew to understand power quite intimately. Strong leadership is able to bridge the chasm between existence and extinction. Poor leadership might see an entire tribe vanish into that same chasm. When the Asmeri descended from their mountains to conquer the fecund lands of central Rayclast, they thrived and multiplied with utmost alacrity in those more forgiving climes. For is it not poverty that teaches us how we might excel in times of plenty?
Oh, the Aspirant's Plaza is now available from any act. Interesting.
The Emperor beckons, and the world attends.
Ow. Ow. Okay. Alright. Gonna get rid of that now, please. Please and thank you. Ow. Oh, no, no, no. No. Stay out of my face, Azaro. None for you! Oh, God. That was close. Okay, got it. Last one.
Rise to the occasion.
And portal down.
Stem this tide.
I sure can. Go fuck yourself. Oh, no, 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 no. Thank you.
Are you a martyr?
What does that even mean in this context? Am I a martyr? I'm trying my damnedest to not die. Martyr yourself upon the throne of the Empire, I guess. I guess that makes sense. Okay, fine.
Be singular of purpose.
That's why I'm here. Not for you. Oh, take him down, boys. Come on. Okay, now you get distracted. God damn it.
You are inexhaustible.
Oh, all right.
An emperor alone is just a man.
Onward to the final stretch. All right, what we got? I'm gonna say to the right is the best way to go. Ooh, hey, an artisan strongbox. Oh, hey, the burning ground properly damages enemies now. Increases me when activated. No, thank you. Firestorm, 3 additional items. +4 chest level. Explodes, lightning storm. 6 additional items. That's gonna be good enough. And now we wait. I'm never used to dealing with the freeze ones because I'm usually wearing an Alpha's Howl. Oh, right, my inventory's open. Duh. Ow. on, Tar. Alright, so I believe this way will get me there faster. Domain walkways. Alright, map. Yes! Yes! Okay. One more room, and then final boss of the labyrinth. Nova Zap, thank you for the follow. Welcome aboard. How's it going? Oh boy, what do we got here? Do I want to bother with this? Ah. Okay, okay. All right. Ow. Rude. Oh, right. I have to go both ways. Doing all right. Playing through Act 3 of the beta. Almost done with that. Kind of surprised there's so little that's been added to Act 3. There are a couple new lines of dialogue, and that's honestly about it. Most of it's been subtraction. They removed some areas. Very interesting. On the other hand, the new format for the Trial of Ascendancy is really cool, and I'm looking forward to the stuff later in the game that'll let me do it. And seeing what the new trials are going to be. Have they added a bunch of new trap sets? Because that would be very interesting. What brings you to my humble stream? Just browsing the Path streamer list, looking for somebody near the bottom. Okay, is it? It's in a state of fuck. Alright. Oh, shit. Okay. Still the best way forward from this area. Leave me alone, please. Alright, let's get some Quicksilver Flask stuff for the Azaro fight, because I'm gonna need it. I'm gonna start picking up weapons to animate. I didn't find very many rare weapons on the way. What the hell is it? No, too much clutter. I'm full of the larger ones anyway. If I find some claws, I'll add those to the list. Yeah. I guess it's... Oh, shit. I keep using my Quicksilver Flask because I'm an idiot. Alright. Azaro, you and me. This is going to be the one try I do on this stream.
An aspirant can afford to be promising. An emperor must keep those promises.
If I fail, I'll do it in the Act 4 stream.
The custom of the Lord's trial was upheld throughout the founding years of the Empire. Verusso's successor, Caspiro, was a low-born legionnaire, the lone survivor of a labyrinth that claimed the lives of every high-born contender, including Verusso's only son. Caspiro proved to be every bit the emperor that Verusso was. Alas, The Lord's labyrinth was corrupted by those with the vanity to consider their blood more precious than their empire. Selfish blood breeds selfish times, and the empire paid for it with its own blood, with the Knight of 1,000 Ribbons, with that most regal of cannibals, Emperor Romira. Not anymore. I, Izaro Frecius, shall return us to justice. I shall build the greatest Lord's labyrinth in Asmerian history, and my successor shall be chosen by the goddess herself. Only when the Lord's labyrinth is drenched in selfish blood can a true leader ascend. You must navigate your empire through troubled waters.
All right. Take him down fast, guys. Okay, all right. Ow. Okay, focus on Izaro, please.
Strike with fidelity.
What does that even mean in this context? Oh, God. Oh, no poison darts, please. Oh, why don't they hurt him? Oh, I'm staying out of your face, buddy.
You are condemned.
No, I'm really not. Ow. Oh, dodged. And the big man himself has gone down.
Tyranny is inescapable.
Yeah, that dodge was pretty clutch. Oh, they do stop now. That's pretty cool. Thanks, Tom. Fight like the ye olden fight like you're alive.
Before your emperor, you are worthy. Before the goddess of justice, you are worthy. Receive our blessings, embrace our gifts, and rise ascendant. For this is the ending that we all deserve.
Word of Thunder. Alright, whatever. Not what I wanted. This, however, is exactly what I want. Necromancer, thank you.
Embrace the serene power.
Have a good night, Tom. Thanks for watching. Yo, Tom, check out my YouTube if you want to see the lore for Acts 1 and 2. I've already got videos up there. T. Southworth is now following. Thanks for the follow, man. There's a YouTube command in the chat you can use. Do I want the caustic cloud first? Do I want the skill effect duration first? I don't... actually, let me see if there's any noticeable changes. Do I want the aura damage first? Do I want the fizz reduction first? Probably by Thursday at the latest. Wednesday I'm going to stream. I'm going to try to stream Acts 4 and 5, but this one took a lot longer than I expected. Enemies have 1% additional physical damage reduction for each zombie you own. I think I'm going to go with Beacon of Corruption. And I am now the Necromancer. Alright, well, that's going to be it for the stream for tonight. Thank you to my new followers. Thank you to the new people who decided to join us. Sorry you got in so late in the stream, NovaZap. But I'm going to drop the usual links. Link to my Discord, link to my YouTube channel, and link to my blog. And YouTube. You can follow any of those links for more of my content. I'm going to end the Path of Exile stream for tonight. You'll see me tomorrow for Minecraft on the Patreon server, and probably Wednesday for more Path of Exile. In the meantime, thank you all so much for tuning in. I will see you around. Toodles.